All right, you're taking a look at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, and as Sonny and Cher once saying, the beat goes on. The index was up 29 points today, or 0.21%. It closed, what, 1.3% above its 10 EMA and 2.4% above its 21. So the trend continues, although we are seeing more rotation once again. We saw it today. And where did the money rotate to today? The last day of July, maybe the first day of August will be different tomorrow. But today we certainly saw it, the money flowing into energy, and we saw it go to the cruise lines. There's Carnival. This one was up nearly 2% today. It looks good. Just recently pulled back to its 21 and got support and bounce. That's what you want to see. There's nice little pullbacks. And then the bounce higher, that's a Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Line, again, up 2.5%. They all look the same here, pulling back to the 21, finding support and up the last 4 sessions. So not only did they go to the cruise lines, the energy was a big beneficiary today. Chevron, one of the big integrated stocks in the oil and gas sector, saw a big volume today, up more than 3%. So that's a nice move. Warren Buffett's big stock, Occidental. These things are just trying to get back above the 200. So that's how much they've been beaten up. But it was up nearly 2% today. So good for Occidental. Tidewater is one of the leaders in this group. This one, it broke out, just pulled back to its 10 and found support. So, those are the stocks that are showing strength, the ones that are finding support and surfing their 10 EMAs. You shouldn't have any stock that, can at least support by the 21 here at this stage of the proceedings. This is Weatherford, definitely making new highs and leading. Anyway, enough of the oil and gas stocks. I want to go to something we really like, finance. JP Morgan, another stock on our leading stock list, and you can see why. It's just trading above its 10. And it had a nice day today. Also, you got to mention SOFI when you mention the finance sector. This is a nice breakout here of 20% on 285% above average daily volume. So that is not to be ignored, Dan. And that's going to go on our gapper list. And I'm going to get more to more of that later on. But SOFI, nice day for SOFI. Congrats to the longs. And also Palantir, I'm going to go over to software. Nice move for Palantir, up more than 11% on above average volume. So congrats to the longs there at Palantir. That was a nice move. Adobe was upgraded and it made a strong move. That's a nice gap higher for a company this big, 250 billion market cap. So Adobe responding well to its upgrade. Hubs, one of our leading stocks at mcstockcharts.com, just made another new high today. They have earnings August 2nd, which is Wednesday. So we'll hear from Hubs. And also CrowdStrike. This stock is on our watch list for obvious reasons. It's a nice setup here. It was up, 4% today. So maybe it'll pull back to its 10. Maybe it needs to come back a little bit and form a little bit of a handle, but that still looks good to me, CrowdStrike. China stocks, I got to mention these. The reopening of China was a dud. And so they're infusing some stimulation into their economy. The stocks are responding. I'm just pointing this out because they're moving well. I mean, they're responding well. This is EDU. It's in the Spotify and the Duolingo category, of language training and test prep courses for students. But yeah, China stocks are moving because there's stimulus from the government. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm not interested really, but just kind of going over what's going on in the market today. I like the semiconductors. I'm going to stick to it. There's KLA had a nice response to their earnings last week. On semiconductor had earnings today, pretty decent response. I didn't like the closer. It's 16% of its daily range, but 2.5% move on above average daily volume. So that's a good move for on. Of course, Lam Research had a big move last week and still holding gains. So that looks good as well. And break out above this old, consolidation period. Earnings this week, we had RMBS today, and they spit the bit, down 8%. Maybe a little bit of a transition for RMBS. Nothing wrong. I think they reported 120 million in revenues, which is, not much growth. So we'll see how it responds tomorrow. Anyway, AMD reports tomorrow. And man, now if Intel reported a strong quarter and NVIDIA did, I gotta imagine AMD is gonna have a really strong report. I don't know how the stock's gonna respond, but I gotta believe that they're still taking share from Intel. And if Intel had a strong report, AMD is going to have a strong report as well. We'll see how the market, how the stock responds to the new data point. Allegro, they report tomorrow. We'll see, hear from them tomorrow. The chart looks good. Hopefully they'll say good things and have a good report. MCHP Microchip. This is on our watch list. It's kind of pushing away from its base here. They have earnings on the 3rd, which is Thursday. All right, that's enough of the semiconductors. I said I was going to talk about some gappers, and I got a couple here. Roku gapped on Friday and followed through today, 7%. That's a real nice move. I would imagine it would have trouble with the 100 level, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a nice breakout there from this consolidation. So congrats to the Roku longs. And then COUR. This is another one in the computer software education media with the EDU and Spot and Duolingo. Broke out on Friday and followed through today, 2.5%. So a nice move. So COUR looks good. And then SYM, this is an AI play. They reported earnings, and I would say that's a pretty good response to earnings. It's up 50%. It's up 50% in a day. So yeah, that's a good move. 21 something. Yeah. So congrats to the longs there. And I'm going to keep my eye on this one because it closed at the 97 percentile. Looks like a hammer candle and with big volume. So congrats to the longs there. I wanted to point out one IPO before I go. And this is Kava. I haven't eaten there. I've been told it's pretty good, but you can see that it IPO'd on June 15th. Undercut, its IPO low, which is expected, made this IPO base, and then broke out on June 12th. So it didn't even take a month. And this thing is ripping higher. If you take a look at the weekly and, filter out some of the noise there, you can see this thing is just looked like it was priced wrong at the launch. They have good revenues growth, but I don't think they're profitable yet. No earnings here, but that's probably coming. This is definitely one to put on your watch list. That looks like it could be a rocket ship. And anyway, that's it for today, except for I must honor the great Steve Jobs and say one more thing. I just wanted to point out, this trading stocks is hard, and the stock market is not an easy game, and we deal in probabilities, and the probability of a stock in an uptrending market that breaks out of a base and returns to its 50 simple moving average, the probabilities are good that it's going to find support here and bounce to higher prices. So Celsius is one. I just cannot stand the way this thing trades. You can see this long base, then it breaks out, goes up to 138, makes a move. It's really gone sideways for 3 months, all the while like SMCI has been going up, 3-bagger, while this thing's going sideways, right? I mean, which stock would you rather hold? Okay, I think I get the picture. But anyway, I just pick on Celsius because it's just going sideways and driving me nuts. This is Confluent, and this one broke out of a base. You can see it looks like it was going to run to the moon, and then it pulled back to its 21, found support, then ran up high above 40, and now it's pulled back to the 50 for the first time since breaking out of the base. And you can see the last couple of days, it's had some feeble attempts, up 1%, and then 0.25% today. I expect this thing to bounce, not to make new highs, but just 3 or 4 or 5% bounce here. This thing's just glued to its 50 here. It needs to get off the 50. And one more. This one reported earnings today, so you got to give it some time. This is Immunogen, and they broke out of a base, formed this high tight flag pattern, and it's a biotech, right? So here's your consolidation. There's your flag. There's your pole, and here's your flag here. And there's a nice 150% move, something like that. And then it flags here and then breaks above the high of the flag. breaks higher up to about the 20 level. And today, for the first time, pulled back to its 50 since making that breakout. You can see, it pulled back here. Okay, it moved up. Now it pulled back again. So I expect to bounce higher. Earnings are a crapshoot. I mean, their earnings were good. I mean, they had way better than expected sales, like double what was expected. And it pulled back to its 50, and people were giving up on it, saying it's crashing, but then it found support. The 50 today was $17.41, and it closed at $17.82. So I'm going to watch this the next couple of days. Something tells me it's going to bounce here, and possibly to new highs. That's really not that far away at 2069. Yeah. So anyway, those are just probabilities, right? And those are three stocks that just pulled back to their 50s. So that's it for today. The rotation is real. We saw it in energy. We saw it in the cruise lines and some of the metals and mining stocks that I really should have showed you, but I didn't. Or maybe I will. How about that? US Steel. This is one up 3-something% today. Southern Copper. Another one just ripping higher, breaking out of this real consolidation period. FCX, this one's been on our watch list because it hasn't broken out like SCCO, but I suspected it might. So anyway, that truly is it for today. We never give up.